Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Zareth Prevails. Guys, I'm trying a top 10 video, and I'm obviously getting it wrong because we're going to be talking about a top 14 characters that you should relic first, or at least consider relicking if you're on a new account. I'm here with my good friend Ando from Ando the Commando fame and the Commandos fame on Twitch. So, Ando, how you doing tonight, man?
I'm doing well, man. Thank you so much for having me out, dude. This is awesome.
It's super fun, man. I
Yeah.
I wanted to try. I've been wanting to try a top 10 video for a while, obviously failing, but this will be good. You have a new account, Ando69, is it?
Yeah, that's right. Ando
Yeah.
69.
Yeah, dude. Pretty epic. You got top 10 recently, didn't you, with that account?
Yeah, yeah. Number 7 in
Yeah.
Division 11. Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Cool. Well, sorry to insult you. You got top 7, didn't you?
Yeah, dude, come on, man. It's
Yeah,
super important.
I'll learn. We'll get there. So, all right, guys. So the idea here, we're just gonna go through the characters. Me and Ando both made a list of 10. We only had 4 characters that overlapped, but we actually agreed on the other ones. It's just good to have a little bit of extra coverage. So, I've Prevail Man. He has Ando 69. He's had a little more success than me, but we're kind of just mixing them in. So, that being said, let's go over the first 4 that we did unilaterally agree on. So, in the number 1 slot, so to speak, we've got Darth Vader. What's important about Darth Vader, Ando?
I mean, he's just you're going to take 6 turns, right? And with a relic character, especially early on, yeah, it's big damage. There's a lot of control in there, whether you're using EP lead or Vader lead. It's just a lot. So it makes total sense to me. 6 turns back to back to back with the same relic character. It's great. So
Yeah, dude, he's great. He does so much damage, and early on, you don't have to worry about doing things to like Galactic Legends and stuff. But it seems
right,
like everyone has Geos. People are
Geos.
working
Yep.
on Geos, and if you don't have an answer to Geos, you're just screwed potentially.
Yeah,
Effed
it's
in the
true.
proverbial A.
Yep.
So, yeah. Plus, he's a good pilot as
Yeah,
well.
that's
Ship's
true.
good.
Yep. Yep. I live like off of the Empire fleet right now, so
Yeah, dude. I think early on, early game, that focusing on fleets is more important than most people want to admit,
oh
frankly.
yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
And actually, a lot of the characters we chose have to do with that. So,
Hmm.
next up is another pilot, though you probably won't get his ship for a little bit. General
Yeah.
Grievous is another early relic character that we both had on our initial list. What do you like about Grievous early game?
Well, I mean, he's like a super control. Like as soon as you add that relic, he gets all of his health, and he does big damage. Then, I mean, like again, kind of big damage. He's really tough to beat on defense if you've got him there, unless you've got your opponent's got good Jedi, and even then, it's just gonna rip banners. And so he's a great the relics change him and so he's a great option for me. Um,
Absolutely, man. It's like a 7 month farm. Like you got to start early on that guy.
yeah.
It takes forever, but you're right. The health thing is so crazy. Like you go to gear 12 and you don't put any extra gear on him, and he's like 32k hit points or
Yep.
something like that. And then you get him to relic 3. So you put 6 pieces of gear in 3 relic levels, and he's suddenly at like 130 something. Like he gains like 100k health. It's absolutely crazy. Uh,
Yeah. It's like too, like at gear 12, like a CLS team can beat him. At gear 13, immediately like the CLS team just gets destroyed by it. So it's like, what counters are you gonna like, bring out? Or like are you gonna have a team now that like your opponent doesn't just have an answer for right away? And I think Grievous at Relic could potentially do that for you.
Absolutely, yeah. It can be a early game, hugely important character. So we both chose. Now this is kind of funny to me. We both actually chose characters that traditionally belong to the same team. So Commander Luke, he's a little bit tough to get. So you gotta farm a little bit. I like Commander Luke a lot. you could do a lot of different things with him, but just the ability to control the rebels team, like the faction, he makes a lot of different rebels good. But his level of personal control is the thing that I really like. Just being able to steal turn meter, to be able to give his team a bunch of turn meter, to be able to give all these debuffs where you want them, hit people that what beyond taunting, etc. I
Yeah.
mean, he's legit.
Yeah. He definitely is. He was, I think, like if you look back, he was probably one of the first broken characters. And honestly, kind of, disappeared for a bit, and then they keep adding additions to his team basically, and he just kind of keeps popping back up. And Relics was kind of one of those additions. It was like, okay, so he's like good again.
Right. Oh yeah, they've kept him current. He
Yeah,
was good, and then he was like starting to drop behind, and then
yeah,
like they keep releasing like C3PO released, and you're like, oh, he's
yeah,
good again.
yeah. It's like
And
Chewbacca
then
release, and you're like, okay, cool. Like he's really good.
yeah, and then you're like, wow, I'm using him less and less. And then Chupio's like, just kidding.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
we couldn't choose. We couldn't decide whether we wanted to add a new Chewie or a new 3PO. So let's just do both.
yeah. I joked
Hey,
around on my Discord, and I was like, at this point, like, it's hilarious. Anyone that comes out with a rebel tag, I'm like, okay, so who are we kicking out? And it's like, we've gotten to the point where like CLS might be the next one getting kicked out, even though he's so good. Like, it's kind of the joke, It's like, I don't know who the heck we would bring out at this point. Like, I mean, like, they're all just so good on that team. It's pretty impressive.
absolutely, man. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I think the reason you want relics on him though is because he does the stat sharing from Chupio. He does. He's a lot faster, and then you get a piece that gives him extra potency, which he loves. That final piece.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, and finally, Han, and he shrugs as I say it. He's like, "Why not? Why not
Yeah,
me?" So, I mean, for me, I love his ship. Early game, if you can unlock Falcon, like you're gonna be relevant in fleets. You're gonna be able to take down almost all the fleets. The early game fleets are gonna be able to offer. Uh, and honestly, at relics, he jumps up. I think he goes from like 3,000 straight offense to 4,000 from one piece at the end,
yeah,
like his finisher. And then relics, of course, just amplify that. But
right.
he's he's a workhorse, man.
Yeah, and the real reason I picked him is because at Relic, there's pretty much there's a few characters out there, but like I mean, you get the choice of who you shoot first, and at Relics, like in the early game, you're basically going to turn a 5v5 into a 5v4. Like it's at Relics, you will probably kill someone on that opening blast, like if you've got the right characters, and it's just like okay,
They
so great.
they will die.
Very much. I mean, there's
Yeah.
like I said, there's very few characters, and the ones that probably kid withstand it. It's like you probably don't want to shoot them first, anyways, and you're able to go around taunts and go around all that good stuff. So he's just got a ton of um, like openness to him. Like he can just be used, and doesn't matter how fast the other guys are. You're just gonna unless it's another Han, but yeah, you're just gonna shoot first and probably kill first too.
Yeah, yeah, man. And so, I actually, my initial list, I had Chewie, and I decided you don't necessarily need him at relics right away. I know Prevail Man just actually got him relics because I just happen to have the pieces, and
Hmm.
I like to just click buttons. So there is that. But Chewie is nice because of the services he offers, so to
Yeah.
speak. But you don't necessarily need him as a part of like you don't need him as at Gear 13 because a lot of his damage is health percent based, and I mean it's nice to have him relic because his ship is faster, etc. But
Right.
like he gives guard to people. He'll give guard people. He'll give guard to people if he's Gear 7 kind of
Yeah.
thing. Like
Yeah.
don't need
Right.
that. So to me, Han is the more important of the two.
Yeah. I agree.
All right, so now let's get to
Now they
the
explain yourselves.
the less obvious ones. All right, so Bosk is great. The he does two amazing things in my opinion. So, well, first off, he's a if you give him both Zetas, which sometimes you don't have available at early game, but he won't stop taunting, and having someone who perpetually taunts is super nice. And he, he's a tank, so it's really tough to kill him. Second, his ship is still probably the best ship in the game almost. I mean, I don't know if that's quite true. I actually barely use him because I usually have that ship reserved for a fleet I don't use that much, but he is super tough to kill. The
Yeah.
Houndstooth is.
Yeah. I agree with that. Yeah.
I know this wasn't one of your choices, Ando, but you know,
No,
uh,
I can back this though. I mean, like he's a huge piece of that bounty hunter team. Like, I mean, before his lead, there's some. I mean, there's some other ones, and there's some cute ones out there. But like, truthfully, like he is still one of the best leads, if not the best lead, for bounty hunters. So, totally see this.
yeah, man. Early game, if you got hunters going,
Yeah,
he's
it's
they're
yeah.
so versatile, man.
Oh yeah,
For all the way through end game, bounty hunters are versatile and just really strong. So
yeah. Agreed.
hard to disagree with Bosk in my opinion.
Yeah.
Now, one that I didn't put down, but I agree with this one the most out of any of your additions. Your inferior, no, your additions. I love Django, man.
Yeah.
At Relics, he's crazy. But what are your thoughts?
I mean, yeah, we talked about the bounty hunters already. Like he fits there. Separatists. There's a lot of people went. They try to go for Padme early. You build up a separatist team with them. He's great with them as well. He hasn't really seen the light of day with the Mandalorians, and I don't know if he ever will, or I don't know what's going to happen to that faction, but that is always kind of out there. But just him at Relics, he is kind of unforgiving. Like there's so many different pieces of his kit that's just like it just says like I will kill you, and it's gonna be amazing. Like that, you got the rocket, you've got the AOE. His relic is like what probably one of those more highly sought after, the crit damage, crit chance, and damage one. His double attack on basic whenever there's a debuffed enemy, which like in all of his teams, it's like they're like whether it's bounty hunters or separatists, they're like heavy debuff centric teams. So it's like he's going to do that, and he gains like extra offense based off of how many debuff. Like it just like doesn't stop. Like it's just like if I feel like everyone that developed his kit at CG was like, let's just keep adding more damage. Like I don't know. Like he's just so great. I love him, and yeah, I definitely had to include him on this list.
Absolutely, man. He is crazy, so versatile. You're absolutely right.
Yeah,
He can burn witches. It's wonderful.
it's true.
The like it is unique Zeta, amazing,
Yeah,
amazing. Not that you realized that early on, Ando, but that might have been like our first interaction. I was like,
I think
so why
so.
don't you have him relict? Or
Yeah,
why don't you have him Zeta?
yeah, that was pretty funny.
All right, so you've since rectified
I
that
have,
though,
I have, yeah.
and he has since wrecked your opponents. So
That is
um,
also true.
rectified and wrecked is our. It's fun how close those are. All right, so the next one I chose Nest, and I don't necessarily think you need her at 7 the way I'm showing on this, but she's great at my alt has her at Relic 2, I think. Maybe I just got it up to 3, but she's a team of her own. That's why I like Nest early game. If you can get her on defense, people, especially early game, aren't going to be able to kill her because they don't understand her
Yeah,
mechanics. And even if they do, like the other day, I almost timed out against a Nest anyways, just because she's so obnoxious. So,
yeah,
uh, all of her damage, all of her ability to survive, she doesn't suck.
yeah, absolutely.
All right, Geo Brood Alpha. I think this is another choice pick on my end. But I don't know. I think Geos in general are good. Brood Alpha. Maybe you don't need relics on him, but or her whatever gender Geos can be. I don't know. That you don't know. There might be multiple, more than two genders for this race,
Yeah.
but You just don't know. And the Brood Alpha though, just here's the thing. I love getting a twofer.
Yeah.
If you go to a store and you're like, hey, I'm gonna buy something, and they just happen to have like a buy one get one free, you're gonna pick the second thing, right? Like you're gonna just pick it up. So the same thing with Brute Alpha. If you upgrade the Alpha, you're also upgrading the Brute. So
Yeah.
you're getting both, and if you relic both, you're getting double the stats for the same amount of gear as you would for just one character.
Yeah, true. And like honestly, with health equalization stuff, it's almost like you're really like getting like 5 or 6, with it. Just like, yeah, you're making them all tougher now. So
Yeah, man. I love it when people try to kill that Treya team, or try to kill him with Treya and
yeah.
fail, and then you're like, oh, I'll just march in with Han or something and try to kill. I'll just finish off the Brute Alpha real quick
Yeah,
with
yeah.
just red health, and then what they don't realize is that the Brute gets re-summoned at the
Yeah.
start, and health equalizes with all of them.
Yeah.
So then Han just gets torched. It's entertaining.
No Han solo that day.
More's the pity. All right, so I think rounding out this particular group, so Jolie, I just like Jolie. If you're gonna make Jedi, if you're gonna have a Jedi team, Jolie is good, and the reason you want relics is because you want to get to the point where you can. I mean, I guess you could do Gear 12. You want him to be unkillable because you can get to the point where no one, even General Grievous, no one can actually crit Jolie, and you can't get debuffs on him. And if that happens and they can't kill him, they'll kill your whole Jedi team, and then he just pushes the restart button,
Yeah.
and all of your Jedi are back to life.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, screw other Grievuses. Like, I mean, this guy at Relics was the bane of the Jedi Knight Revan mirror matches. It's just like, okay, so I can't kill your Jolie, and you can't kill mine, and we're just kind of staring at each other. Like, he's so tanky. Like, it's incredible.
Yeah, it's nuts, man. He's a lot of fun. Relic 5, maybe you don't need it there,
Yeah.
but yeah, he's good. I think my alt has him at Relic 0, but that's good
Yeah.
enough. Okay, so the final five here. Here, let's actually go with one of your choices. So you like KRU. I
Yeah.
like KRU. He's a fantastic choice. What do you like about him?
Just overall his survivability. Like when you add, kind of like Grievous, when you add the relic level, the counters that kind of used to work, the counters like Ewoks and even CLS, right? Like you're looking now, you're going to time out against crew that's well modded, and even if your CLS is well modded too, like it's just he's got too much recovering factors that is going to help him not die. And he's very annoying in general. Like he's going to counter. He's got a 2-turn stun. Yeah, he's takes all that percentage health based damage. He's taking less or reduced from that. So becomes a really good like you want to use him with first order, but if the time comes, like you can use him as just a tank and a very effective one too. So I just really liked him. I've always really liked him. He's one of my first relics on my main account. And so yeah, he was just a fantastic choice then. He still is, honestly.
Yeah, man. I love the 2-turn stun. He's such a control character because he's got the basic with tenacity down is so
Yeah,
underrated because you can start doing so many gross things as long as you can consistently apply tenacity down. Then you don't have to worry about potency on the rest of your
right.
squad.
Yeah,
So that's awesome. The 2-turn stun, obviously. The pre-taunt, his ship is fantastic.
yeah, that's true. Yep.
All kinds of awesome stuff. So 100% agree there. Old Daka, I think she's pretty great. What do you think she is?
Yeah, so this is sort of like my version of your Jolie. Like honestly, it's like you can try and kill all the sisters, but like I mean the counters of like Grievous, and that one's I'm not trying to say that that's a fun counter to produce, but she is the reason why that counter works. Eventually she just stacks up so much health that, and of course that requires a Zeta, but like with relics, you're going to add a lot of health to her, and she stacks up so much health that's just like at some point teams just can't kill her. You and I both love to do Night Sisters versus Geos. A lot of people don't even know that exists, by the way. Like I do it on stream and they're like, what, this works? And it's like, if you get it right, like, I mean, I have
Yeah.
seen it failed, but if you get it right, like it is one of the most, solid counters that I know of for Geos. You're not going to get great banners for it, but it is solid. So, and it really comes down to a relic DACA, in my opinion. Like the other stuff is going to kind of ramp up on its own. But yeah, the relic DACA, she's very tanky at that point. So, gonna go with her.
Yeah, man, agree. She's cool. I like her just random FU double stun
Yeah,
that
yeah,
she just every once in a while lands. It's just like, oh, I guess I won't take a turn with this character, even though I had a taunting tank in front of him. Like I
yeah,
just, she's great. Obviously,
yeah,
revives all the people.
yeah,
Super versatile too. You don't have to run
yeah,
her with Night Sisters. You can run her with Supreme Leader Kylo if you finally get him. Like,
yeah.
yeah, she'll be great. Anakin was a good one. Jedi Knight Anakin. He got his face got a rework recently.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
he's
I think
just
he's good. What do you
yeah.
think?
I mean, he can do so much. Like healing immunity is really really important. The further on you go, might not be super important like those first early stages, but it's something that can take out someone like Crew. And
Yeah,
just he again going back to when Relics first released, he was one of those good ones. I mean, he was just, and he still is. Like, I'm not saying, I think his team has fallen behind a little bit, like the Padme team, but like he is great. And he's got a great ship, and everything about him. You just, that those first few relic levels that you get, it's like that damage level that you get from his relics. It's just like, holy crap, this guy can AoE. Like if you anger him enough, like he's gonna AoE and just absolutely blow up your team. So very fun character to use.
yeah, I think so, man. He's a lot of fun. You're like, wow, you just killed my character, and I'm not happy about that, but I am happy because now Anakin's gonna go ham.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like he will kill you and the women and the children. So,
That's right.
yeah, and his ship will do the same. And so this kind of surprised me actually. You chose Dark Trooper. Obviously I love Dark Trooper 8, Relic 8, but in the context of an Imperial Troopers team, uh, I I love him. I wonder how good he is at Relic 1 though, or Relic 0. What are your thoughts though? You're the one who picked him. I would love to hear your thoughts on why he's an early
Yeah.
Relic.
So I just kind of was thinking about the troopers. Um it's different than when we start like when we started the game, Snow Trooper was kind of like the damage dealer. And this guy now is being given to new players, like just like, hey, thanks for playing. Here's a Dark Trooper, and like yeah, like you said, like here at the end game, yeah, I know like the Relic 8 is really awesome, but I just think that like he, the way he opens up the game for the end game, I think he's going to open up the game for the early game too. So like potentially, and I'm not saying like, yeah, obviously I haven't tested anything or anything like that, but potentially, those people that went out early and decided to relic Grievous, maybe the relic, one or whatever Dark Trooper is able to kind of circumvent that, that relic level, that health that he's gaining, because he's hitting for 4 times. Like it's a ton of damage, and so I just thought to myself, like, the big thing with troopers is they got to kill somebody, and if you're gonna invest into a relic, into a trooper team, which you should honestly at this point. Um,
Yeah.
he's the guy. Like he's gonna kill somebody, then you're gonna gain the turn meter, and then you're gonna win the match. And so yeah, it was just more like an idea of me like saying like, I think he might open up that game a little bit more to, maybe they put, the CLS Chupio team. I don't, again, not a reliable counter, but I've seen it done before. And so maybe he just kind of opens that up a little bit more. So that was my main reason.
Absolutely, man. I think he's a great addition to a troopers team, regardless. And you're right. I think even at Relic Zero, he's gonna be able to demolish things. Maybe not kill Galactic Legends like
Right.
he does at Relic 8, but I do think you're right that as long as he takes a turn, you're just good to go.
Yeah.
Like you get the punches in. You can have Piet get mate force him to assist, and
Yeah.
yeah. I don't like how lazy he is though. He just like instead of walking to his opponent to punch him, he has to fly. I guess though
Floats.
he
Yeah.
attacks so much. Yeah, he floats. Whatever he does, he rockets over there. But yeah, I guess he assists so much though that maybe that's the need. Like he'd get too tired
Yeah.
otherwise.
Yeah. Right.
So, rounding this out, guys, we're going to talk about Grandmaster Yoda. Then we both chose kind of an oddball one, just an outside thing for you guys to be thinking about. So, I chose Grandmaster Yoda. I think the Jedi squad early on is pretty good, and here's the issue: getting him to gear from gear 11 to gear 12, you gain almost no usable stats on Yoda at all. Like they're all just basically worthless, and so it feels like a tax. Like you get him to gear 11, and then once you get him to 12, all of the stats actually do kind of start mattering. But once you get him to 13, get him a couple relic levels, or even just leave him at relic 0, he starts hitting like a damn truck. Not just a normal truck, a damn one. And I think the other thing I like about him is you don't have to put really fast mods on him to be
Yeah.
good. If you want him with a Padme squad, then yeah, sure you do. But he generates so much turn meter on his own that he just keeps taking turns and keeps taking turns. He's a great character. It goes with Jedi Knight Luke really well. Jedi Knight Revan. He's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. Agreed there. Like, and yeah, for all the Calvin Awesomes out there, like, slow GMY for the win.
Yeah, yeah. Take that, Kelvin. And you don't even get to respond. No. I like having my fast mods on other characters who
Yeah.
tend to need them more. So
Absolutely. Yeah.
I won't
I'm with
deny.
that same one.
I won't deny that fast GMY is probably overall better, but
We have
anyways,
to deny it. We have to do it.
okay. I can't deny it, but I will. All right. So final ones, guys. Peplu and L3. You chose L3, and I thought that was a pretty cool, enlightened view, actually, Ando.
Yeah, I mean, so like in the early game and in the end game, pre-taunting tanks are really like they're at a premium, and I think as I've moved on in the game, I have always been like, oh, I just want the damage, like every one of my relics is like, oh, I love the damage, right? But and I've just noticed my tanks are just lacking behind. And it's not as sexy to usually relic a tank, but um L3 absolutely, she just fits everywhere. I mean, like literally everywhere. Like there's places I think she fits better, but to have a pre-taunting tank that self-cleanses and also cleanses, I think weakest scoundrel ally, if you're using a team like that. But she's just everywhere, like literally everywhere. And at relic levels, especially with under geared characters, you will be surprised at how tanky she truly is. I mean, I'm talking about like you could put your geos in there at gear 12 and you're just sitting there just hammering L3. Like it is insane how much damage she can take. So she just offers your team that starting ability to to get their feet underneath them and kind of go from there. So she's great. I love her, and yeah, that early game relic, I think she could really kind of slow down those teams. So that's what I went with for my oddball.
Absolutely, man. She, as a pre-taunt, she's great, but her ability to just tank forever and have synergy with all the characters.
Yeah,
Her ship isn't the best. That's like the first character that we chose that isn't a good pilot,
yeah,
but it's still an okay ship. But basically, all the ships are okay. But
yeah.
um, yeah, you don't need good mods on her either. You could just
No,
throw defense set and just put a bunch of protection and call it good.
yeah,
Don't even think about it. I have the
yeah,
6E mod on her diamond just to give her extra defense on her primary, but otherwise, yeah, she's really good. And she's used in a lot of really current counters, actually, like
Yeah.
the Darth Vader counter to Darth Revan, etc.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Yeah.
And so here's my hypocritical take, but I love Peplu, and on my main, he just doesn't get much use anymore. I'm at 7.8 million, and people have moved on. But here's the thing, guys: using him, uh, you put fast mods on him. I think I still have moderately fast mods on him. Yeah, I still have 212. The thing is, he's got a secret that no one knows because no one cares about Ewoks at all. And the secret is, here, let's not confuse his taunt here, or his Zeta. So the issue is Peplu is plus 25% speed whenever he does not have taunt active. So at the start of the fight, he doesn't have taunt active. Therefore, he's plus 25% speed. So he is always going to be plus 25% faster. So that's an extra on this character without like a huge amount of speed boost. He is already plus 52, something like that speed, and 53, and no one expects that. And if you don't have a developed team that's fast enough, he gets started, and then Ewoks don't stop once they get started. So
Sure. Yeah.
so early game, if you can get him, even if you can just get him gear 12, like gear 13 might make people suspect something, but get him these speed boosts here on the side, on the right hand side, and then you don't have to get him all the way to relics. But what happens is you gain another 20 some speed. I think it's just 20 actually,
Yeah.
and but that extra 20 is pretty massive for an early game team. And my alt at 5 million GP gets about a million holds. Like those Ewoks are still, and he's only gear 11 on that account. So I just make
Awesome.
up for it with good mods. So anyways, that's my oddball one. Don't have to do it, but if you want Ewoks to be relevant, which they absolutely are if you mod them right, you want him to be fast. So that being said, I think that's about it, Ando.
That is.
Thanks for joining me, brother.
Yeah, no, this was fun, man. I appreciate you having me here. This is awesome.
Yeah, dude, this is super fun. For those of you who want more Ando, I'm gonna put in the video description, hit a link at the very top of it, a link to his YouTube channel and his Twitch. He's live on Twitch quite a bit actually, and he's just chilling sometimes. Sometimes he's playing GAC. Lots of good insights. Great dude. That's one of my favorite things about having started on Twitch was I met him pretty early on, and we've been good friends. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
Go check him out, guys.
Yeah, thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Heck yeah, dude. Good times. So, with that said, guys, thank you all so much for watching. And remember that in all things, Zareth and Ando and prevails. All right. We're calling it good.